I guess it's just play waiting games. Might as well freaking do something while I'm waiting. Like, hey, is there a new Is there a new one D&D thing? I doubt it, but I'll check just in case there is. Cause that's what to do. Wait, Ayo, ayo. Just first of all, I want to do. Okay, no thing. Cleric and revives species. Interesting. Okay. That's for. Just look at the audio. Alright, no. Oh, no, not want to click chat window. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? Let's do this in. Also, this is not the. No, it's fine. It's a fine. Screen to view the sun. This is also very new. I don't know. Look at this. So head. Yeah, we committed new everything here. Yada yada yada. So nothing's new here really. Is this any different? Right. It doesn't look any different at all. Okay, so cleric. So this. Pretty sure this should be the same. Oh, let's grab out the player's handbook here. Oh, I should change the stream title. Dungeons and Dragons. Hello. And then reacting to the new 1D&D. What is this called? One D&D playtest materials. Also, this is like new 1D&D content. Okay. So, first things first, I just realized that they subclasses at this different at a different level. So that's the thing that exists. So I want to grab the player's handbook here. I want to check spells. So let's do that real quick. Too far. Okay, that's Bard. That's Cleric. Okay, so kind of it's 3. That's okay. That's the same. We get a 5th one at 10th. The same, and that's all I have. Okay. Then spells should be the same. Yeah, they're just in the Bard and well, range wisdom and that's cantrips, but beyond that they're the same. Pretty sure. If it is 1, 2, we get 3 at 18. Yep. I doubt this has changed at all. It's 1, 2, 3, and fourth. Yeah. And then third it's 2, 3. Yep. Second it's 2, 3. Yep. And then first it's 2, 3. Then 4 at. It's 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Okay. We then have Holy Order. That's obviously, first of all, different name, different level. So it's Divine Domain. Now Holy Order is now at second level instead of first. Challenge Divinity at first level instead of second level. So they switched Divine Domain and Challenge Divinity. And they have Spellcast in level 1, which is oh wait, Cleric subclass. Interesting. So Holy Order might not be may not be their subclass. This may be a different thing. So this may be their subclass. Well, this might be this could be the third could be a feature, but I feel like that Holy Order might not be their subclass. Okay. Feet at fourth. Yeah. Then Smite Undead. It could be Destroy Undead. The new name for Destroy Undead. It could be different. And then Subclass feature at 6, which is same level. So I think Holy Wars is different than the Cleric subclass. Blessed Strike is 7 instead of 8. And it's no longer a subclass feature, which they were moving away from that in Tatas. I don't like the fact I preferred it when you had a damage type associated with it. It added a bit more to it. It was like more. It got a bit more flavor to the. Sorry, the eggs that were there. There didn't seem to be. Brain just broke. They're moving away from having like originally PHP there was a different damage type associated with each different one beyond the ones that were spellcasting, but spellcasting was casting stupid, whatever. Glad they moved away from that. But like with the main different damage types, with like Trickery was poison, with Tempest it was thunder. Should have often lightning, but it was just thunder. Nature was cold, fire, and lightning. With light, I think it was radiant. I think. Well, no, life was radiant. I think light may have been put in spellcasting. Not sure. War was just the damage type of the weapon, and then yeah, and then like order was psychic. So it was interesting. It added flavor to it. While it was the radiant butter, but then like for me when they add both, I just add radiant. But obviously this is something where like you could probably, if it's just done the same way, you just keep the same way. So well, you don't keep the same way. You just basically add it on. It says it's radiant or when you're damage type associated with a subclass. But we'll see. I imagine they might only have one subclass here. Maybe they have multiple. Probably, I assume they just for life. They might have a secondary. They might have more, with how many cleric subclasses there are in the first place. In fact, it's been a while. They haven't posted. The last one was in October, so it's been a while. It's been over a month. Okay, so at 8th feet, as expected. 9th is Holy Order again. Don't know what that's about. So 10th is subclass, which they 10th to be Divine Intervention. The Divine Intervention has been moved up a level, and they've added, and there was a domain feature at 8th, which was a Pleasant Strikes. So they put a subclass feature at 10th, which is that really is more just new. Really, I would say that's just new because like Pleasant Strikes just became no longer went from a subclass feature to a class feature. And then they added a feature. They've added a source feature in they've added a subclass feature in 10th. And then so you got feet at 12th as per usual. 13's nothing, which is what it was before. 14th is a subclass feature which is new. It used to be Destroy Undead at 14th, so that's different. Well, it was the first run on the update, which this run does changes maybe inside Sora run not on the feed table. We'll see. But I don't know because it's mine has a different name. It could be completely different. We don't know. It could be a save there or something. Je ne sais pas. It could be based on your level. It could be any number of things. It could be your level divided by 2 is the max, or divided by 3. It could be something like that instead. Then at 16 is a feat, which was normally as 15 was nothing. It was nothing. 17 is destroy undead Seer Forge, which is not there. And it also was divine domain feature, which is not there. So that's completely lacking. So okay, so they moved the subclass feature from 18 to 14, which is what you kind of saw, which is what we saw in the past. Which is also what we saw with Ranger. They moved from 15 to 14. So they seem to be putting all those subclass features at 14. The last one at 14. Which I wish it was at 15. Is my preference, because then it kind of puts your subclass feature, and it's not in a. It's not that final tier features. It's in a sub. It's not like it makes it feel less significant by having it not in that final tier features. It might kind of feel like it from that is like having it 15th or higher is like it makes it feel more significant, even if it is just one level greater. It's that final tier feature. It's tier one final thing. For it's like no, it makes yourself feel less significant. You have a whole 6 levels without any single subclass thing. It's like your final 6 level has nothing to do with subclass, which is like but found that it will be interesting to do the Paladin though, because Paladin's 20 level features is a subclass, and it's now an epic boon. So let's see what happens with that. I'm curious as to what they do there. And then so 18th is the greater divine intervention. This is just the 20th feature pushed down. And then feed to 19th, which is what we were at least in epic boon 20th, which is what they're gonna do. So there. That's it's this kind of that there, right? Okay. Just want to check. Okay, no eggs still. I'm probably gonna cut this out. So no, I was gonna cut this out, and so it would be confusing for them because I have this video on video, not on YouTube after that. But actually, I'll probably have the video part where I'm talking about egg stuff. I'm checking eggs. I'm doing put myself at the same time for the YouTube peoples. This is going on the stream. I've got mine. But yeah, okay, so same throw, same wisdom, charisma, same things before. Hit dice 1d8, same things before. Skills, persuasion, religion, which is the whole like this is the we recommend you go with, is what would be the default, the recommendation default, and then you got history, insight, medicine, persuasion, religion. So same skills. Weapons, that's not any different. Tools, none, no different. Armor training, light, medium shields, no different. But of course, the change in the armor training for 2 proficiencies. So when you have chain shirt, so before you had also get mace, holy sword, chain shirt, so totally messable, whatever. Priest pack. You used to choose between priest pack and explore pack. Now you're stuck with priest pack. Shield, which you got normally shield and holy symbol, and then 7 GP, which is new, kind of. Because I think that's kind of new because like you get stuff from your background, which you don't get anymore really. So, but the chain shirt. So before you had scale mail, leather armor, or chain mail if proficient. Now you just get chain shirt. I understand. It will be interesting to see how it all works because right. They pushed the subclass later on, so that's why you don't have it immediately. I definitely like change it over a scale mail though, like for a Trigonoman cleric. Though like you could just tell chain shirt. How much is chain shirt worth? If I go to equipment. Hello? My brain just not thinking. What they're like that's not where it is. It is stupid. Mon screaming at me. A ditto is screaming at me saying, it's like, excuse me. Change shirt. I honestly tend to go this way to find what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's 50 GP, so like you can get, if you were to sell it, you could get a set of leather armor if you're playing a Dragonborn Cleric if you want to. But it also doesn't have a disadvantage on stealth. But like if you have a high dexterity, the 12, because it's 45 GP for leather armor, so you have 5 GP, and also you would have, if you have, well, you would need, because 15 would be your dexterity. If you have a dexterity of at least 14, you have a 15 AC from chain shirt. So you would need a dexterity of 18 or higher for it to be worth it to do stealth leather armor. Because your max is 15, you would need to get, so from 12 you need to at least you need a +4 for it to be better. Well, no, I guess if you do a 16, you get 5 GP from selling a chain shirt and then getting stealth leather instead. And also, it is probably safer to have stealth leather instead of chain shirt for the purpose of like heat metal and stuff. But like, are you really concerned about that? Generally not. You generally aren't really being worried about that too much. So back up here. This here, yeah, at least 13 in wisdom, yada yada. This might be new, though I feel like it probably isn't. You know that isn't new. The way you get is not new there. And spell slots, yeah, that's the same as everything else from before, really. So, channel divinity. You can the ability to channel divinity, divine energy, directly from the outer planes, using that energy. You start with 2 such effects: divine spark and turn undead, each of which is described below. So before, you just had turn undead, and then you gain 1. Then you get 1 from your subclass. 1 or, yeah, you start with at least 1 for yourself. You start with 1 for yourself. Suppose you get more from the classes later on though as well. So, so divine spark is new. And then each time you use Final Divinity, you choose which effect to create, and you gain additional effect options at half of the class. Okay. You can use your Channel Divinity a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you gain your spell uses when you finish a long rest. That is definitely an upgrade there. So it used to be 2 per long rest, or was it 2 per short rest? Which actually makes it not definitely not an upgrade, but okay, no, it's 1 use until 6th level. 6th level becomes 2 per between rest. And is short rest correct? Short or long rest, yeah. So from level 1 to 5, it is, I'd say it is better. The only thing at 6 through 8, I'd rather have the other one. Well, yeah, because I get 3 per long rest or 2 per short rest, and if you take a short rest, that's 4. So, but then you get 3 uses at 18. Was it? Yeah, I get 3 uses at 18. At that point, the only place I prefer the old one is from 6 till 8. Beyond that, I prefer this way, I think, because I'm assuming maybe 1 short rest per one short rest between each long rest is my assumption for there. If you have more, then there's more often you prefer the older version. But they are generally moving away from short rest stuff to long rest, to PB per long rest. So that doesn't surprise me at all. So same throw when you it's your, yeah, the DC from your spell. It's your spell to have DC. So divine spark. After a magic action, again, this is just the whole cast a spell thing action, but they have a different name right now for it. You put your host level at another creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself, and focus divine energy on them. Roll a number of d8s equal to your proficiency bonus. Interesting. And add the rolls together. You either either restore hit points to the creature equal to the total, or force creature to make a constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes radiant damage equal to the total. On down a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. I like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So you could be proficient both. That's puts 2d8 at level 1, so it's a 2d8 healing thing at is within 30 feet of you. That is, it's kind of like prayer of healing actually. Level 1. It's actually, it literally is prayer of healing, but you're not spending a single spell slot, and the range might be like 30 feet shorter. I think it's healing word is 30 feet, but whatever, doesn't matter. I think you might add your spellcasting ability modifier for the prayer of healing, but whatever. But it definitely does better because like later on, level 20 and well from 70 and beyond, this would be 68 damage, 68 health, HP restored or damage off of my controller turned off. And now enough issues with me trying to turn it back on. Give me a moment. I do. It's still like wow, taking ages. This is annoying. Normally would have probably much been done by now, thanks wise, but I'm also having the opportunity to go through this, so whatever, it's fine. Yeah. So Viper, I definitely like this. This is cool. Yeah, and then down with 68, which that's I'm trying to think of spells out of 68, but it's two less than Blight. My brain's not in D&D mode. My brain's in Pokemon mode, and so I probably can't. I will think about this 168 damage, but doesn't matter. But that is definitely good. That's definitely pretty good thing to have. I'm trying to as a magic action. It's as an action. You present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censoring undead creatures. Each undead within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. So originally it is that's an action, present a holy symbol, within 30 feet of you. So wisdom saving throw. It's the same thing. Then so far, if the creature fails the saving throw, it is dazed for 1 minute or until it takes any damage or you are incapacitated or die. Here it is turned for 1 minute until it takes damage. So this doesn't add if you are incapacitated or die. Then a turn creature moving away from. So then, while dazed in this way, the only action the creature can take is the dash action, and if it moves, it must end that move farther away from you than it started. So a turn creature must move. So it. Okay. So what does daze do? I assume it's gonna explain it somewhere else. While dazed, you can experience the following effect. You can move or take one action on your turn or not both, and you can't take a bonus action or a reaction. Interesting. So it basically bans bonus and reaction. But how does that if you can't move or take also looks like the spell so this might have changed. Or it's having it here again, like off the scenario. So you can move or take one action on your turn, not both. But if you're saying the dash action, how does that work with the dash action? Well, you can only say action. You can take this as the dash action, and if it moves, it must end its move. So how does a dash action with a daze condition? Because like, can you just not have the dash action, or is it just nullified and pointless? Like, or it's like, oh, use a dash action, you're just moving. Or just saying, oh, you can't take any actions beyond. You just have to move away. I think this is a superior version of Turn Undead, in my opinion. I think because it blocks reactions and bonus actions, so you are knocked out of incapacity. So I think this is a better Turn Undead. Divine Spark definitely makes this better. So that's a whole kind of definitely an upgrade. So spellcasting, prepared spells. So this is basically say like, oh, this is what you would prepare because they have their whole like recommend spells. So they recommend Cure Wounds, Sacred Flame, Shield of Faith, Spirit of Dying, then Thaumaturgy. So the 3 candles, Sacred Flame, Spirit of Dying, Thaumaturgy. Sure, fine. I mean, what they recommend here is they recommend in the quick build. They say in the quick build they don't list cantrips or anything. Confusion. Is it listed elsewhere? It is listed. No, is it? Is it? Hello? Oh, because it's known. So it's different. So, yeah, we know the prepare spell works. It's based on the number here. For the spell slots. So, which I like for this purpose. It makes it simpler to select your spells, but also it does limit you a bit. Like something like you don't want. Maybe you're having you don't spell prepared spell you don't care about. You don't need to know a spell, but maybe do a third level one you need one of. That's kind of where it's like it's a little restrictive, but it does make it way easier to choose your spell. Like okay, go into the first level ones, then go to the second level ones, then it's not like go to your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth and ninth level spells to go and determine what spells and choose 16 of them. It's choose 4 first level spells, choose 2 second level, choose 3, so 2. It's 3, so choose 3 second level spells, choose 3 third level spells, choose 3 fourth level spells, choose 3 fifth level spells, choose 2 sixth level spells, choose 2 seventh level spells, choose 1 eighth level spell, choose 1 ninth level spell. It's much simpler. So, well, it's not okay. When I was struggling, it makes it seem way more complicated because like there's like I said so many ways. It's not just choose 16 spells at these levels, which like it's way simple to explain, but it makes it way easier when it comes to selecting them. It's just more restrictive, which I mean, even I sometimes like I don't know. Like it can be a little overwhelming even for me to. So I've made hundreds of characters. Well, not hundreds. I made over 100 characters in 5e. So like I'm a master. I've done this so many times. That's like an issue. Yeah, I'm getting nothing from my eggs. Just confusing. I'm gonna steal an egg. I'm very confuzzled. Yeah, so yeah, something like that. This is not really gonna change at all. Spelling focus, it's holy symbol, holy order. Okay, you've dedicated yourself to one of the following sacred roles, either on your own or as part of this order. Choose one of the following. It sounds almost like fine. So I've already read the first one there, so it's not what it is. But protector, train for battle. You gain the martial weapon proficiency and heavy armor training. So yeah, cool. I'll let that so I'm not making that up. So yeah, that's cool. Be interesting with these subclasses though. Scholar, studying and teaching about. Oh, it's almost like the packs, the pack boons of Warlock. That's what's more like. It's more like that than it is like fighting styles. Kind of, ish. Um, trying to think of. Is it? Yeah, because you basically getting proficiency in with the path of play, you kind of gain proficiency in melee martial weapons in a way because like, you can create any melee weapon. You can choose the form that this melee weapon takes each time you create it. Then you are proficient with it while you wield it. So like you could use it could be a you could create a longsword even though they're not proficient in martial melee weapons. You would technically, but you'd be technically proficient. You would be proficient in it though. So Mythos Scholar. Studying and teaching about lore of the gods and multiverse, you gain proficiency in two of the following features, skills: Arcana, History, Nature, Persuasion, and Religion. So the intelligence ones might except replace investigate with Persuasion. Then when you make a ability with either skill, you can get them both equal to your Wisdom modifier. That's cool. So it's kind of like the what is it? It's Otherworldly Glamour of Fey Wanderer, Ranger, or the subtle feature of Samurai Fighter, which is called it's an I name. It's like whatever that feature. It allows you to. It's basically for those. It's you add your wisdom modifier to any charisma check you make. But here you choose. You get proficient in an intelligence score, and then you in two of them. So in two of them, and then you get or persuasion, but not investigation. So that's actually pretty cool. Like having proficient in Arcana, but then having proficient in Arcana one, then having to be able to add your wisdom modifier to it. Then on top of that, you could go and get expertise in it as well. If you want to, you could spend a feat to get expertise on it, or get it some other way. So you could have a very high bonus to Arcana. Like 17 would be that gives let's say low 20. So proficiency was a +6. So that'd be +12 for proficiency and expertise. Plus let's say if you have 5 and let's say you have 3 in intelligence and 5 in wisdom, so that's a 15. So you have a +20 on your Arcana check. With only a 16 wisdom. That's right, 16 intelligence. So that's I like that. That's pretty cool. Then also then Thaumaturge. Delving deeper into your divine, and then you also get two of those things. So you can have that with Arcana and History though. Yeah, I'll probably almost always take Arcana Persuasion. The other three are not as useful, but delving deeper into your divine magical abilities, you can though it's kind of interesting. Like if you or get Persuasion from your class, I mean I guess, and you want this feature. I guess you're not getting anything from choosing the skill there. You do get this piece. Whatever, it's fine. I mean, I guess you get home like house rule. Say that you'd get home rule house whatever call it. Decide that you get an extra piece from that, but I don't think that's something you need to write the rules. I don't really care. So Thaumaturge. Delving deeper into your divine magical abilities, you can prepare one extra level cantrip from the divine spell list. See your spoken feature. Interesting, you would gain one expended use of your trial when you finish a short rest. At first, I was thinking like, oh, this is not gonna be great, but this part that's pretty good. Honestly, L3 this would actually kind of might actually be a difficult choice sometimes. Like if you're going with Protector, yeah, it's straightforward. Like you just go that whatever, you don't really care. But apart from that, choosing between the three of them, if I'm not dedicated towards Protector, it might be a difficult choice for me to make. Though, okay, one thing worth mentioning is that the Cleric cantrips are not good. Apart from Sacred Flames, okay, Resistance has been not resistance. Guidance has been buffed because now it's not a reaction, so it's a better, but not. I still say is good, and like Wear Radiance, Toll the Dead. There aren't many good cantrips. I mean, they have a list down here. That's like if there's anything better. Where did it go? Where'd it go? Hello? Oh, this is low down. Okay. Yeah, guidance. So resistance, I think, has been changed as well from the online here. Guidance, light resistance, sacred flame. Like the extras can is not really worth it, but the short rest for the challenge that's nice though. So what's the change to resistance? I assume it's reaction, but like they did with guidance. So that looks like it's changed. So reaction when to an ally within 20 feet, 10 of you failing a saving throw. So yeah, it's the same as guidance, except now for the same throws. So it's a reaction. It's only range of 10 feet, which sure. Is guidance 10 feet as well? Or was it 30 feet? I think the guidance might be 30 feet. No, it is 10 feet. What was it before? Let's just do cantrip, abjuration, cleric. Does it give me what I need? Oh, is it not? Oh, guys, this is not is divination. What be evocation? Okay, no, there it is there. Okay, yeah. So it's touch before. I was thinking about downgrade. No, that's an upgrade actually. I was incorrect the moment. It was definitely an upgrade. That would be spoiled. No spoilers. No spoilers. Okay. Yeah. So Holy Orders, but wait, did it have a Holy Order upgrade? Oh, we might get another one. Maybe we might get the second one on the 9th, but we'll see. Click to glass. So you can live him and clear. Yeah. So we just get it third level now. Yada, whatever. Okay. Smite undead. So you can cause your turn undead feature to smite the undying. The undying. I think. I guess I guess I'm more used to saying on the undead, smite the undead, not the undying, because that thing's active. It's an acting that they're actively doing, not just like there are that there's not just their nature. Also, like it looks undying, but whatever. Yeah, I'm like confused with why this is. So yeah, you can roll a number of d8s equal to your proficiency bonus and add the number the rolls together. Each undead that fails its same throw against another takes range equal to the rolls. So okay, that is. I understand the change, but at the same time, I'm not thrilled with it. I mean, it's still good. It's just not as good because it's not auto kill for things of. Okay, well, let's look at this. So, at 5th level, which when you first get this undead, you have a PB of 3, so it's a 3d8 damage, which is an average of, which is an average of. Right, hello, it is 9 plus 4, so 13. Now just 13 damage. And if you go to challenge, if I've been half or lower, what's the average HP looking at here? You have 22, so that's not killing. Odd. You are dying. You're dying. What's that? Here, I'll still go the way around. So you would die. Actually, no, you wouldn't. You might die. You might die. You would die. You would die most of the time. It's you. It does mean that it would do more damage to shadows. So actually, you are going to die because of rain damage vulnerability. And it is good for like doing. It is an upgrade for like doing the vampire because it's not. Destroying Dead will never affect a vampire. However, the Rain Dead will have an impact on them because of the whole regeneration ability. So, in some scenarios, there is some sort of advantage from getting the rain damage, but as a whole, it is not as strong, but I think the change overall is probably for the better. So, instead of Cleric feature, we'll see those later on. Less strikes. This is early, but what it is. Divine Power Infusion, when a creature takes damage from one of your from your cantrips or attack with weapons. I about to be melee weapon with this weapon attack, but you can also deal 1d8 right now to the creature. Once you do this damage, you can't use this feature until the start of your next turn. Okay, that's not any different than what they did with Tasha's Call and everything. Though, like I said, I write for top, but I prefer it. I prefer the altering damage types. I prefer like weapon attack wording, but cause that kind of makes me think like, does not apply to unarmed strikes? But before, I'm pretty sure it would apply to unarmed strikes as well. It could, if you really were wanting to like, if you really want to use an unarmed strike. Yeah, when you hit a creature with weapon attack, you can cause the creature to do less 1d8. 1d8 blank damage. So they're like, yeah, that would include unarmed strike. Here, probably wouldn't. Is that a big deal? For some multi-class characters, it might be significant. Like especially for the beast barbarian, or especially if you're looking at beast barbarian or monk, something like that, it could be significant. But whatever. So, feat 8th level or holy order. Your secret duties have expanded, allowing you to choose a second option from holy order feature. Okay. I think at 8th level, I don't. Sorry, at 9th level, I think at 9th level, I don't think you. I think you rarely choose this one. I think you either take this one to get this piece right here, or if you haven't had if you haven't taken protector, you take a protector to get heavy armor. Unless you're like a trigger main cleric or of a high dexterity, I think you take a protector at that point. Because having access to a warhammer or a longsword over a mace, or quarterstaff as your best weapon, would be pretty good. Especially with divine strikes. So, well, blessed strikes. What else they're called now? I mean, so, yeah. The self feature versus new level, but it itself is not really new. Divine Defender. You can call your deity or pantheon to intervene on your behalf when your need is great. As an action, so that's just thematic stuff, fluff, flavor, what do you want to call it? As an action, you describe the assistance you seek and roll a percentile die, which seems to be the same so far. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, okay, before equal to or lower than your cleric level, the divine power intervenes. The danger is the nature of the power. The effect of any divine spell is appropriate. The effect of a cleric or cleric domain spell would be appropriate. Okay. If the intervention occurs, you can't use this feature again for 2d6 days. Before it is 7 days. Okay, so RNG, sure, fine. I think as a DM, I might say I might have it like the DM can kind of control that 2 days depending on what it's asking for. Like if it's something simple, it might just be like a 2 days. But if it's like brings me back to life, it might be like 10 days or something. Or I might roll 36 or something. I don't know. Or I might go with 10 days or something. Or I mean, I was like 12. Like you had them revive somebody 10 days. Well, you have to bring them back to life 10 days. Or you ran out of your spell slots and asked them to create water or teleport you out of a location. Whatever. 2 days. Something minor, like or you ask them to fix a well or something for somebody else, and you're like a clickable mod or something. 2 days. It's whatever. Kind of thing. Let's see. Yada, no, that is level feature. Yeah, good idea, divine intervention. When you use your divine intervention feature, it succeeds automatically, no roll required, and you can use it again after 2d4 days. This is interesting. Yeah, okay, yeah, I like the change definitely. I would say like I also have a rule like you can use it in half the time, but you have to roll for it. But then what is the if what 1220? Yeah, no rule needed, so it requires so. Yeah, it's definitely better. It's also earlier, so yeah, this is definitely a good upgrade. Feet, that's not gonna change. Divine Boom, we were going not Divine Boom, Epic Boom, we were gonna do that stuff. So 3 recommended quick spells. So Sacred Fire, a little bit dumb. Yeah, whatever. Bless, sure. Guiding Bolt. Hold presence spiritual weapon. I might go Prayer of Healing instead. I might say Prayer of Healing or spiritual weapon, which that's changed. I bet it's rating down to the 4th stage. Is probably they changed. Guidance. Yeah, makes sense. Aid. Yep, makes sense to me. Beginning of Help. Spirit Guardians. Yeah. Spell Magic. Guardian of Faith. Yeah. Banishment. Death Ward. Flame Strike. Resistance. Circle of Power. Nothing that seems off to me. I mean, Xanthar guide spells might change what you'd have there, like hold the dead or word of radiance instead of one of the cantrips, but heal, divine word, holy aura, mass heal, waste that, recall. Word of recall's a bit odd, but you already do have another solo spell, but it's not that weird. Regenerate's kind of odd. Not really. It's not what I expect. I expect like resurrection or something. Well, what? Okay, what Sentinel cleric spells are there? They're crying at me, asking for attention. Kind of want to unmute the game audio. Hello. Thank you. So Connor Celestial, but okay, of the PHB ones. Player's Handbook. Hello. They're screaming at me. Like, pay attention to me. Like, I'm busy. Also, you're not hatching eggs. Wait. Hello. Oh, Connor Celestial. I'm dumb. I was thinking of Summon Celestial. Yeah, Connor Celestial. Divine Word, Ethelness, Firestorm, Plane Shift. Yeah, I would probably gone with Divine Word and Resurrection rather than Regenerate, but it's insignificant. I don't really care. Also, I haven't done listing it. Me. Oh, I did actually send it right to yo. Did it send it straight to where I wanted to go? The file I wanted it to go into? It did. Went right to the 1D&D stuff. I wonder if that's. Interesting. Very interesting. What how I do that? That's where I want it to go. Okay. You can't see it. Actually, no, you can't see the little sliver of it. Because it's probably on the bottom bar and then a little bit here. Okay, critical. So life domain. What do we have here? So divine domain spells. So, what has changed here, or it has anything changed here? Well, first of all, first thing first, your connection to this divine domain ensures that you always have certain spells ready. When you reach cleric level, a cleric level spell in the life domain spells table, you thereafter always have a list of spells prepared. I believe that is the same. Yeah, that's nothing changed there. So, but the spells themselves, has that changed at all? Yes. There's no first level spell. So you don't get Blessed Curians from Life Domain. And then you get Supplies Management, Prayer Healing. That's so here it is, Prayer Healing instead of Spiritual Weapon, which makes sense to me. I agree with that. You have a 5th Masculine Word and Revivify. Instead of Beacon of Hope and Revive, and so Masculine Word instead of Beacon of Hope. I don't think Masculine Word was originally a Cleric spell. It may not. It may have been just about Bard's spell originally. I'm not sure though. But yeah, I agree with that. I think. Then Aura of Life and Death Ward instead of Death Ward and Guardian of Faith. So Aura of Life in place of Guardian of Faith. I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Then Greater Restoration and Mass Cure Wounds. So which it has Mass Cure Wounds anyway. So it's raised dead. It's raising raised dead with Greater Restoration, which I do agree with that. I think that makes more sense. So yeah. Okay. So then third level, your healing spells are empowered by life itself. Of course, also they don't have armor proficiency thing. So, but that's because they got rid of that. Now I have Holy Order instead. Quickly check. Is eggs hatched at all? Have any? Not eggs hatched, but if I have an egg in the basket. No. What the frick? It's annoying. So I should probably click off. Click off the Xbox. I wonder if I need to be moving around. Look, Series indicate I don't need to be moving around, but whatever. Okay, so your hit points are empowered by life itself. When a spell you cast with a spell slot restores hit points to a creature, that creature regains additional hit points equal on the turn you cast the spell. The additional hit points is equal to 2 plus the spell's level. Okay. It is no different. That is exactly the same. Bound wording is different, but wording is the same. So 6th level. Before it's Blessed Heal, now it's Preserve. So Blessed Heal is moved. It is also, there's no longer a Challenge Divinity feature like I had before. That's one thing worth noting. Because before it had Challenge Divinity to Preserve Life, but oh, it just doesn't say Challenge Divinity. You can use your Challenge Divinity to heal a group, and it's moving from 2nd to 6th, which is interesting. You can heal a group of the community. As an action, you can spend 1 use of your Challenge Divinity and it presents your holy symbol, restoring another creature's hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. Use any creatures within 30 feet of yourself. You can choose yourself, and divide those hit points among the certain creatures. This feature can bring a creature's current hit points to no more than half its hit point maximum. Okay, here it says, after action, that's the same. Correct? Yeah. Like healing energy. Increase your hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. Okay. No different. 30 view. Here doesn't specify that you can choose yourself, but I assume it's the same. It doesn't say you can't though. Because here it says choose any creatures within 30 feet of you, which, I mean, yeah, that is literally no different. The only thing that changes is the level. The fact that you're now 6. It's now 4 levels later, which is, I mean, it scales naturally. The feature itself scales, so it's like, okay, whatever. But I don't know. That is also putting Blessed Healer back. And then also here, and then the peach bin visually it says you can't use this feature on an undead construct. Let's move here. I think it's kind of odd that you can't. That it's not doesn't specify that, but I also understand why I wouldn't do that. So it's whatever. I guess I kind of prefer the original one, although it says channel divinity right at the top. Right here it doesn't have that, but it's whatever. Okay. Blessed Healer. They're screaming at me again. But what that is. The healing spells you can cast on others heal you as well. When you cast a spell with a spell slot on another creature that restores hit points to it, you regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level On the turn, you cast a spell. I think that's the same. If my memory serves me correct. Because well, first level higher. Yeah, that's exactly the same. It's just a little bit. It is just a later level. It's It's 4 levels later, so that sucks. And there's no upgrade to it beyond your ability to cast high level spells, which really doesn't count. I wouldn't count it. So it's whatever. I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Supreme healing. When you would normally roll one or more dice to restore hit points to a creature with a spell that you cast with a spell slot, don't roll those hit dice for the healing. Instead, use the highest number possible for the hit each die. Yeah, so I'm pretty. Yeah, that is literally the exact same beyond wording. So that is exactly the same. Yeah. So while I did technically add another feature when they pointed out earlier, it's just because things they also wait no they didn't. They moved them back. I'm being dumb. They just moved. I don't know if I myself earlier. They just moved the 18th or the 17th. Send the substance feature back to 14th. They moved the one from 6 all the way to 10. I moved the one from 2nd to 6th. And the one from 1st to 3rd. And removed the 8th feature. We'll make the 8th feature a 7th level class feature and moved the 1st level feature, so some of the 1st level features into a 2nd level feature. So, yeah. Now you have, so, sure, whatever. I think the only thing that's I like the Holy Order thing. I like the Divine Spark thing of the Divinity. Beyond that, nothing really pops me out of the matrix. Like this is like it's a major change, but like how my feelings about it aren't that major. It's like how much better we're. I think it makes more sense. It's clearly worse, but it helps in some scenarios. So like I have mixed feelings about it. I don't have any strong feelings toward that thing. So my point, I guess my way is like the only one things I have strong feelings for Holy Order, and they're positive, and I have strong feelings for Divine Spark, and they're positive feelings. I mean, I have strong feelings about Divine Spark, but that's the same way I felt about the Toss Clone, I think one, because it's the same thing. So, um, apart from that, there aren't I don't have any strong feelings about this thing. I mean, okay, I do like the change to Greater Divine Event Intervention. I like that one too, and the change to the 2/6 right there. But those are really minor. It's like minor changes. So I like it, but yeah. So overall, I would say I like the Cleric changes. Though I don't. I wish they would still have first slot here, but I understand that I still understand why they don't have it because that means you're gaining 2 sets of spells here. I'm sure Prayer House Parry Peelings changed, but you'd be gaining 2 first level spells and 2 second level spells into 10 level spells because you can get 3rd level rather than get first. So I kind of understand it from that standpoint. Also, what first level spells are you going to give? It's a very dumb question because I already know. For nature, absorb elements. For light, burning hands. For or guiding bolt. What do we want to choose? For tempest, thunder smite, or but actually they get thunder smite. You can choose like thunder wave, thunder smite. There are definitely spells that are there and worth noting. Oh, I did not check to see if they're limited by their spells they could prepare. I don't think they would be, but they might. Any spell you pair with a into my spell. That's not even new, but I mean I expected that at least. Yeah, so there's no limitation on what spells I can pair, so it is what I expected to see. So yeah, it's so you do a smite. That's one thing worth noting is clerics have smites now. We already knew that though. So yeah, there are some first spells that the subclass will be missing. Well, I mean, I'll just go look through them. So like, okay. Knowledge will be missing identify. That's kind of. I mean, I don't care about identify, but like it makes sense that knowledge would have it. Um, life is in cure wounds is kind of sad, but it's whatever. Um, light missing burning hands is pretty big. The nature domain missing animal Frenchman, particularly animals, is pretty big. Though they might get it through a feature. There's just a chance they might get through a feature. Tempest domain's missing Thunderwave and Fog Cloud, which are big. Well, Fog Cloud not so much, but Thunderwave is. Tricky's missing Charm Person, Disguise Self. Disguise Self is pretty big. Charm Person not so much. And the War Domain's missing Divine Favor and Shield of Faith. I mean, Divine Favor, yeah, but like you can get it anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Forge Domain, I think, is like missing like Serious Might and something else. Forge is missing Identifying Serious Might, so Serious Might's one thing, but you can get Serious Might anyway, so it's not a big deal. Then Graves missing Bane and False Life. False Light's significant, but not that big of a deal. It's whatever. As for the Toss's Call of Everything ones, is there anything worth noting? Any spells lost that from Twilight Order or Peace? Peace, there might be one. So Order is going to lose Command and Heroism. Yeah, that's kind of rough. None of them necessarily really good spells. Well, Heroism is good, but wait, is Heroism the thing I'm thinking it is? No, I'm thinking Divine Favor. What's Heroism? What the frick is Heroism? Did I ask you to? Oh, what? Because I did Cleric. I'm Hero. I should do this and just do that. Okay. Might be under there, but whatever. Also, why are whatever? I guess you guys can see that. Right. Never mind. I understand. Right. So, not a. I mean, yeah, but commands like Order really should have command. They might have a feature for that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I doubt it though. Pieces missing Heroism Sanctuary. Sanctuary is kind of made. Sanctuary is big, but it's a normal cleric spell anyway, so it's not a huge deal. And then Twilight's missing Fair Fire and Sleep. Neither are that big of a deal. I mean, Fair Fire is a thing, but like, it's not the end of the world. I think the biggest impact are Tempest Domain losing Thunderwave and Fog Cloud if they don't. Well, losing Thunderwave. Clerics didn't get Thunderwave, which I might. It does not. So it losing Thunderwave is kind of big, especially if they change the Sithal feature, modify that to be not just lightning damage and also thunder damage. But I have low hopes for that. There is also, and then I think the biggest one might be Nature Domain losing Animal Frenchman speak with animals eventually, and then Light Domain losing Burning Hands, and then also Order Domain losing Command. I think those are the biggest ones. But whatever. So now on to the species. So I'm actually gonna zoom this in here so I can I don't get spoiled unless it's coming back because I have no idea what this is even talking about. So I would say, when you choose your species, so it's race, I guess. You determine whether you're just a human or a modified species. There's a Dragonborn or no. Right, yeah, this is race. Private new version of the fauna species. Ardling, Dragonborn, Goliath. I'm laughing because it's like the 15th thing Goliath has been in. Um, Goliath has now been in Emerald Evil's Cleric Companion. It's been in Voltage Monsters. It's been in Mordecai's Tone of Foes, and now it's been in this. No, Mordecai's Tone of Foes. It's been in Mordecai's Monsters Motem, and it's been in this. Just like I feel like I'm missing one. It's like it's been everywhere. Um, but so these have changed. I wonder if this is I wonder if this is Breath of that's been changed. Ardling, I wonder how Ardling might change. Well, yada 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 yada. Okay, we're on the Beastlands. So are they now all from the Beastlands rather than from the other different ones from different planes? And in the early days of the multiverse, some of the animals evolved into bipedal forms. Among them, remember, are Ardlings, people who, with beast-like heads, keen senses, and an innate connection to the divine magic. Long ago, the ancestors of Ardlings migrated to the material plane, and the Ardlings can now be found on many worlds. So, can they all now from these? Ardling has the head resembling that of an animal, depending on the animal the Ardling might have. All have fur, feathers, or scales. Some little, and other hulking. Ardlings are as varied as the animals they resemble. Okay, so humanoid, 4 to 7 feet, 7 feet tall. Actually, so he smells really grimy because there's probably some food here. Medium, okay, then or small, 3 to 4 feet tall. Choose it chosen species. Then 30 feet, speed 30 feet. Lifespan 200. An average. Okay, this is a big change. Okay, as an Ardling adventurer, you have the following traits. I don't know if this Ardling adventurer. I would think we should say it as an Ardling because basically, like if you're not an adventurer, you don't get these features. But whatever. You are descended from a celestial animal. Choose one of the ancestry types below. Then I think it's just wording, nothing more. But it's still kind of like the Verdant thing. Like once you live level 3, you get this thing. Like, well, if you're not an adventurer, you just do you never grow? Are you always small? Um. Then choose one of the yeah. Choose one of the ancestry types below. Then choose one of the animals listed for the ancestry or similar animal. You gain the benefits of the ancestry, and your head resembles the head of the chosen animal. Climber, bear, cat, lizard, squirrel. Depends on the lizard, but okay, whatever. You have hooked claws, sharp nails, or a serpentine tail. As a result, you can have a climb equal to your walking speed. And once per turn, when you deal damage with your unarmed strike to a creature, you can increase the damage to that target by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Interesting. Rather than okay, my immediate reaction was bad. I don't like that. Though as soon as I started thinking about it, it's actually very good for monk. But I do think it's still a missing piece though. Because normally I would like it should just be 1d4. But first of all, 1d4 can increase your damage by a maximum of 3. While at first your proficiency will only increase by a maximum by 2, later on that's gonna go to 3 higher than would be the other math would be when you get up to level 17. So and at level 5, you're basically it's the same as the Tabaxi thing, but you are guaranteed to roll a 4. Like every single time. That's kind of what it's saying, basically. Um, I think the one thing they should, and then also now it's applies to monk, and it's really, and that's very good for monk. The one thing I would change though is I would add it and say that you can choose to deal slashing damage with your arm strike. Obviously, you could just homebrew that. It's not a big deal, but I think that should be included in there. So like you can, or like I would at least have it like as an option. I think there's some logic to saying that if you're making unarmed strike, you and do slash damage, and you'll use a proficiency bonus, you have to do slash damage. But that sucks because slash damage is like the one damage that you actually have problems with using because you have ochre jellies and no, yes, ochre jellies and black puddings, which of course when you take slash damage break apart into all the things that legitimately bad slash damage, whereas it's actually going to be worse than a different damage type. Where other creatures like yeah, that might be resistant to slashing, but they're always resistant to bludgeoning and piercing. We're like, well, I'm here. They might be immune to bludgeoning, but they're also going to be immune to piercing and slashing. There are some creatures that are like that are weaker to things like bludgeoning or with like be very specific rock shove from piercing down. Though it's matter here because of armor strike, but like piercing down from a maybe the weapon from a good line creature. I think it might be weapon attacks. It deals piercing down from a good line creature with ricochet, then it wouldn't matter if it's a unarmed strike. But I think it's well, no, by weapons wielded by good line creatures. I think, but it's very specific. But rockets are very bulky. They're immune to spells a little lower if they choose not to be. So, but I at first I didn't like especially like it'd be cool to see they put on tabaxi as well. Nice upgrade for monk. A monk like a monk tabaxi. Would do better with that. So fire. Bat, eagle, owl, raven. Okay. You have vestigial wings. As a result, when you fall at least 10 is that the cat in the room or something in the game? There's a sound. It's like a kind of sound. I think it was a cat behind me in the game, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to sound the cat making. Huh. If you fall at least 10 feet, you can use your reaction to safely glide downward, taking no damage from the fall. In addition, when you take the jump action, you can flap your wings to gain an advantage. As a level 1 feature, this doesn't bother me. However, I think, and this is my, I think when you get a certain level, this should become a flying speed. I mean, you get flying speed at high levels for features, so it's not weird if a flying speed at a high level. But having this like, oh, I have wings, except they're just useless. Like, I'm some eagles and I have wings, except I can't fly. Yay. I think it would make more sense as a at this level you gain the ability to fly. You gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed or whatever. And while the jump swing is nice, I don't think this maybe you add something to the roll, like you add something to the roll. That's advantage. Like it's kind of like a double jump, so you're going a little bit farther. It's not like you're just having you're better jumping farther. Like you actively do jump farther, but it's fine. Racer, dog, deer, dog, horse, race. The deer, dog, triceratops. Well, deer, dog, horse, triceratops. Like just a 180. Like I was not doing that. So sure. When you take the dash action, your speed increases for that action. The increase equals 10 times your percent. Like it's like 10. Like wait, it's the speed. So yeah, that is 60. I wonder what that might indicate for tabaxi. And they're flint agility though. The flint agility also works differently too. But like when you take the mean, that's good. It would explain a rogue can't take dash. The dash action is a cunning action. No, yeah, yes, it can. It can take it. It was just limited. Um, so like that becomes insane because you're taking the dash action. Wait a minute. Ooh, is this saying that let's leave it 30 feet? If it's saying that if you move, we take the dash action. Do you get a move? So 30 feet plus 30 feet from the dash action plus 20 feet from there if you go through level 1. So 80 feet. Or is it, or basically, when is this being added to the equation? So is it either, or is it 30 feet base movement speed? So then extra 20 feet onto that from this action, and then extra 20 feet again onto, so then another 30 feet from your, then a 50 feet. Because now your movement speed's higher, so now it's 50, now it's 100 feet. Is it just 20 feet more? Or is it double that? My guess is that it's probably the former. It's add on top after the dash action, but they're not specifying. And so that could be a little 100. Your movement is then 100 feet. I found it rather unlikely. I feel it's probably 80 feet. Just move a little one. But that might not be the case. I'm curious about that. So whatever. You can hold your breath for an up to swimmer, crocodile, dolphin, frog, shark. Frog also a climber, but whatever. I understand why it isn't. It's also the most diverse crab. You've got a reptile, you've got a mammal, you've got an amphibian, you've got a cartilaginous fish. Whereas here you got a mammal, reptile, mammal, or here a mammal, bird, or well, avian reptile. Well, yeah. Here then mammal, reptile, or yeah, reptile, not avian reptile, mammal, amphibian fish. Well, cartilaginous fish because we're talking classes. Or are they two separate class? They might not be. Remember bunnyfish and I know phylogenetically speaking, if you group the bunnyfish and the cartilaginous fish, then you have to include humans in the same group. But that's phylogenetically speaking. I think if you do basic taxonomy, they might be in the same class. Which is what mammal and birds are, which is also birds and reptiles. It's also another thing, phylogeny, and because birds are reptiles phylogenetically speaking, and so like reptiles might technically more be like a super class, but and fish might be the same thing. Fish might be a super class. I don't know, but yeah. Okay, you can breathe. You can hold your breath for up to an hour at the same time, and you have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. In addition, you have resistance to cold damage. This one sucks. I'm just saying that one sucks. This one, huge climbing speed, and then this speed right here is pretty big. Going on there. Really, this is the unrestricted piece. This is pretty dang big for, Okay, it is once per turn. I didn't see that the first time through. I didn't pay attention to it first time through. That is significant. This is significant for monk, and it's generally very good. This dash. I obviously said at first level when you take the dash, you have a speed of 80 feet. At 5th level, you have a speed of, well, it was either 80 or 100 at first level 1. At 5th level, it is. They're screaming at me. They're yelling at me. What are you? Yes, what Vigoroth? What's your issue? Do you have egg? There's an egg inside. Hey, guess I want to take the egg. Yay, I got an egg. My other control's dead though. Well, it's not dead. It's fell asleep. I don't know what to do with it now. We just deal with this. Boxes. Is my egg not in the box? Is the egg not out of my party? Egg in party. Now, Vigoroth, you can go over here. Actually, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll do the egg in the party. I need. I might have to start dropping legs off at some point, but I'll. Actually, no, I'm gonna just do that to keep that organized as well. Nice and organized. Now let's go for another hour while I go another hour of waiting until I get another egg. I wonder if the reason he was screaming at me was because we had an egg. I haven't seen it. That's how to do. Very like now and then, but there now. Yeah, my other controller has problems. If it gets disconnected, that's the problem. It tends to be. It takes it a while for me to reconnect with this, but yeah. And this right here, yeah. So the whole speed thing, like at level 5, that's 60 plus 30 plus 30. If you haven't, that's assuming you haven't taken mobile or a monk. It's actually really good for monk. Actually, it's like really good for monk. This one less so, but this one and that one are very good for monk. Climber and Eraser. Well, I guess they're. This one is really good for monk. This is just like it really accentuates what monk's good at. It takes what monk is good at, and then takes it to the next level. And then interesting stuff. I was wondering if that might be a no. Nothing more. Okay. When you yeah, so then like then at yeah, so 5th, my brain's not thinking. 5th, it is yeah, it's both 90 or 120. Then at yeah, like it gets really good very quickly. At 20th, it's well at 17th to 20th is going to be assuming that you're thinking mobile or a monk. You'd have all this fits. The phrase fits for monk as well. You'd have what's that sound of it again? Oh, maybe it's Flapple's Cry. I'm just not used to it. Though I think yeah, 'cause it's not indicating that there's an egg or something. I'd be cool if that sound effect indicated there's an egg. Be nice. Depends on how long I have to wait for this. But doing D&D stuff right now. Well, I'm doing two things at once. I'm multitasking. Do not a great job of it, but so I have the brain that doesn't function. Um. At level 70 to 20, you would have it would be either 120 or 180 into the dash action. And then you have swimmer, which you got hold on swim speed. You got a swimming speed. You can breathe underwater. You can hold your breath for up to an hour, and you resist the cold damage. Where this here, you can if you fall at least 10 feet, you can use your reaction to safely glide downward, taking no damage from the fall. Completely useless if you're a monk. Like, absolutely useless if you're a monk. Then, when you take the jump action, you can gain advantage. You can gain advantage on that action's ability check. It's like, I understand it, but that's not good compared. Like, these ones are so much better. Like, it's not even close. I mean, like, this is. I wouldn't say falling's a niche thing, but you don't take fall damage all that often, to be completely honest. Like, sure, I guess it is somewhat used to monk. Like, if you're falling a very far, it's like sure, yay, you don't take fall damage. Like I said, you don't take fall damage all that often. You're also forced to use reaction to not take fall damage as well. So, you're, it's not great. You don't get any horizontal movement on it with like you do with the dozy or something hybrid. It's like, and then like you're better at jumping. Yay! 10 to 1. Somebody else is gonna get something. Like, it's like, I don't care. It's not even a bonus. I mean, sure, you can move farther, but like you get better at moving farther. It's like, it's not good. It just isn't. It's just not. Like, okay, give a flying speed at a high level, or give a very small flying speed. Give a flying speed of 5 feet. Sure, the problem with flying speed isn't solved by having a lower flying speed. True. But like, oh, here's an idea. You take the dash when you take the dash action. You gain a flying speed equal to 10 times your proficiency bonus. Sure, that's hell is some of this thing right here, and it kind of makes this one bad. Like 5 times your proficiency bonus. Like, or when you take the dash action, you gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed, or equal to half your walking speed, or put it a level increment thing. It's not a bad. But this one, the way as it is, this one's really bad compared to the other ones. It's how it is. Yeah, you have a problem with that. It's just what it is. Divine magic. You can innately channel minor divine magic. You know the kilometers of spell. when if it's lawless, you can replace that spell with a different. Okay, you can get. You can basically. You get a cantrip from the Divine spell list, which is a horrible list of cantrips. So like, Ward of Radiance, Toll the Dead, maybe Sacred Flame if you really scrap, if you don't that much good option, if you really need some of a ranged cantrip, or I mean, if you want support, you have Thaumaturgy, then Resistance and Guidance aren't bad anymore. So like, there's those, I guess. And honestly, Resistance is actually a pretty good cantrip nowadays. I think now Resistance is actually pretty good. Um, because it's reaction to give to add a bonus to the same failure. Or at least it's significantly better than it was before. To the point I might consider it to be good. So like, also Whisper, I kind of don't want to be. Now I think about it, I don't think I actually want to do. I think I'll get Ardling really easily. I realized. Should be a different mod that I'm trying to. I should focus on getting a different mod. Oh, and I need 2 scrolls. Okay. Apple is individual. I'm really using the controls, so like, the control is still half the way in the Switch, so I'm just kind of pull them out a little bit just to make them to connect, and nothing, just far enough that it'll sit there. Okay. This is really weird. I'm also using one hand as well. So it's upon the basket that I was at the tank, which is a bit annoying. This part I can just get in the basket. Okay. Go back in there. Okay. But what we're doing. Yeah, that's like, it's different enough from what it was before. Like, no question. Like, I like the whole thing they've done and all, kind of, sort of. Like, I like the changes that they made, but like that thing, that sucks. Like, this is what you had before. Before it, thirdly, we got Divine Favor, or Cure Wounds, or Healing Word. Then at 5th, you got either Zone of... Like, these less significant. But like, these? Divine Favor, Cure Wounds, Healing Word? Those are good spells. But now you just get a first level spell. Also, you had Flight before. Oh, look what we have here. As a bonus, you can sprout for a moment and fly up to a number of feet with your speed. If you could just do this instead of. You could just do that. That could literally just be this feature. You could literally just do that. Boom, problem solved. That's solve your problem. And for the people that who hate having flying speed, just fix it. There are ways around flying speed being a problem. Like, you just lack creativity. Most typically, it's like, just there are ways around it. You know, in the world of Magic, there are ways around flying speeds being an issue. They shouldn't be one. So, you have resistance to radiant damage. I think they had it before. Oh wait, one moment. Okay, hold the phone. Okay, well, okay, mate. I still have opinion about the. Oh, wait, no, this is not. Yeah, I know. Don't wait a minute. Never mind. That was the wrong one. It's worth it. It's been nerfed. Like, yay, keen senses. Yay, proficiency in perception. I like that. I'm being mildly sarcastic, but I'm acting way more excited than I actually am, which is mildly sarcastic in that sense. But also, I'm like, I think perception, like, you lost damage resistance to radiant damage. That's not fucking worth it. Preventing improvement is great and all, but you could have had, you're telling me you could have resisted rain damage, and you could have had the ability to cast either divine favor or cure wounds or healing word, and then also later on, like I don't even care those spells. Like I don't even care those are there. Those are there. I'll say that these spells are part of. You add those solo spells and this piece to make the other one. Like, or it's like it is a nerf. It is sure this is good, and these are good, but they're not as good as this. I mean, like, and like, oh, it's overpowered. No, it's not. Have you seen Yanti? Like, this doesn't even come close to touching Yanti. Or I think Satyr also has mad resistance as well. Like, it it doesn't even come close to touching it. It's like Yanti is poison spray. This is thaumaturgy. Poison is much better than thaumaturgy. They're shrinking its soul to dead. Okay, or word of rains. Then you have a better spell. Okay, sure. Perception. Okay, nice and all. But like resistance to damage from but no, advantage on spells. Say there's like spells. I think it's spells another magical effects has been backed. The might be spells. I think they changed. I think it went from spell magic effects to just spells and modem, but fuck modem. It's like it should either have the resistance to rain damage or it should have the expand the extra spells. I'm gonna be moving the additional spells because of this whole thing changing, but like you can just add them back in. It's not like you just do the same thing here, but you choose to go with. I don't know. You could go with like cure. You could just choose one of the dolphin. It doesn't really matter, and then go with lesser restoration or animal messenger. It's not. It's like dumb. Dragonborn, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, we've seen all this. When you do the attack action turn, you can place one of your. There we go. That's what I was about to say. They did revert to the way it was in Fizzman's. Yep. That's. Wait. Yeah. They just revert to the way it was in Fizzman's here. And then they had Draconic Flight, which was the Stone Gemmer thing at 5th level. So, fly as a bonus action, you can sprout your pressure wings on your back. That lasts for 10 minutes, or until you are incapacitated, or you retract the wings as a bonus action during the time you have a fly speed equal to your speed. Yeah, I'm not sure that changed from Fizzman's at all. Let's just stream at me again. Okay. It was just this is Jemison, right? Okay, yeah, it's 10 minutes of 1 minute, and then I don't think you can hover, and it's yeah, so you can't hover, and okay, and then after 10 minutes, though, you also ends if you're incapacitated as well, though. So it ends if you're incapacitated. It doesn't hover, but it's longer duration. So yeah, this is just the defensive thing. Okay. Goliath has a 35-foot move speed. That's new. This is very different. So basically they went and did. This is the species, the race that added basically are a celestial ancestor, a draconic ancestor, dragon ancestor, and then a giant ancestor. Basically, that's what they basically just did. Now to one of the following benefits of an astral boon from your ancestry, you can choose. You can use the chosen benefit a number of times equal to your previous bonus, and you can also use this when you finish a long rest. Okay, Cloud Giant. As a bonus action, you can magically teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Yeah, that's good. Basic stuff. That's cool. I like that. Fire's Burn. When you hit a target with an attack roll, you can deal damage to it. You can probably usually can deal extra damage or additional damage to it. You can deal and you also deal. Oh no, blah, blah, blah. I read that wrong. When you hit a target with an attack roll and deal damage to it, so basically if you're not using net, basically, or if you have a unarmed strike with a negative strength score, or other scenarios where you can opt rather deal damage to something else instead of deal damage, but some features have, pretty sure. So you can also deal 1d10 fire damage to that target. So that's cool. We like that. I think it'd probably be a bit better if it was preventing bonus fire damage, because then you're not gonna like, oops, I rolled the 1, now my usage is gone. I dealt 1 fire damage and I lost the usage, because that would suck. I think I would rather have it be amount of damage equal to proficiency bonus. But it is better this way at low levels. It just, oops, I rolled a 1. Well, shit, now it kind of just wasted that usage, because it's rolling a 1 doesn't do me much. So, it wouldn't do you much. Frost Chill. Frost. When you hit a target with an attack roll, you can deal after you get your 1d6 closer to the creature and reduce its speed by 10 feet until the next round of this turn. Cool. I would complain about being really simple, but I don't give a fuck. I'll be lying if I claimed to care that as soon as I face into this one. That's the kind of thing I would do. Yeah, good, sure, cool. It is not saying on your turn, so this could be a 3 action potentially. Though if you might as well have Sentinel, but like if you don't have room for Sentinel's feet, or on high level, so good. Right, okay, I like it. Hills Tumble. When you hit a large or small creature with an attack roll, okay, first, if it's doing what I think is fucking stupid name, but with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can knock that target prone. Yes, lovely. Stupid ass name though. Like Hill Strength, or like Hills. I understand why, but there are better names. I mean, Hill Strength, while less descriptive, I think is probably a better name for it. So Hill's Tumble makes it seem like it's a roll kind of thing, like you're tumbling, like it's some sort of roll thing to get through the single space, which is like really dumb for Hill Giant, but like it is really weird. Yeah, when I hear Hill's Tumble, I'm not thinking it's gonna knock something over unless I know it's in the context of a Hill Giant. And then I might come to the conclusion that it's this, because the alternative would seem really stupid if he's rolling, but I wouldn't be certain. Granted, Hill's Strength still leave me in the blue, but I was leaving me confused. Hill's Tumble, like, wait, it doesn't make sense. Like, Hill's Tumble makes me think of something different. But like Hill's Strength, like, okay, yeah, makes sense. I could get this, then this, not this. I don't need this to lead me to this. I would rather have this. I'd rather have the feature lead me to the name than the name lead me to the feature. To be completely honest, is that logical? Does it make sense? Not so much. But I do. I think I prefer it that way. To be honest. But Stone's Endurance. Well, I still want this. Obviously, this would be relating to that because you're working this way. So it's not like this is completely different from that. But I understand. I I'm being very nitpicky right now. I should put that out there. I don't really care what the name is. It's just kind of dumb. Um, Stone's Endurance. So I think this is literally the Cloud thing. The Cloud the what Cloud has normally. Which if it is, I actually really like that. If it's something where it's like, oh, instead of you get Stone Endurance, you could choose you have alternative options instead of Stone's Endurance. That's really cool. I like that. So yeah. When you take damage, you can use your reaction roll a d12, add your constitution bonus in the world, and reduce the damage to take from that. So I'm pretty sure that is. Oops, too far. That is like exactly the same as Goliath. Let's check that one as well. Oh. Reaction. That is the same. Yeah, the usage just changed there, but yeah, it is the same thing. So they basically add an option to those turns. So instead of doing something, which I think is cool. I like that. When you take damage from a creature that you within 60 feet of you, you use your action to deal 1d8 thunder damage to the creature. Again, I think this should probably be proficiency bonus. While yes, the ceiling is better. This way, getting the floor would suck. It'd be like, it would be rough. It'd be like, really. And I think one thing maybe for the fire one, you could potentially have it be twice your proficiency bonus. Here I don't care because you're having this effect too. So like 1d6 are fine. I think here maybe it's double your two times your time two fire dice equal to twice your proficiency bonus potentially because then it's like because then it's 12 at level 17. But like also like it's an average like 5. But it gets better when it gets better the farther along you get. So, this one it probably would be just proficient because doubling it means you're gonna get surpass this really quickly. You've average immediately, but I don't know. That's reaction. When it does feel a little, it is 60 feet of you, but like this is just attack roll. Hey, with an attack roll, this doesn't even this could be on a firebolt, as could this, or an eldritch blast. So like, yeah, I think this would probably be more damage, like 2d8 or 2 times your proficiency bonus, something like that. Twice your proficiency bonus, or something like that. I think, in my opinion. You just have less control of this, which is why this would be the same as the damage here would be the same here as over here because you have less control over this. By same damage, like other thing that what you need to twice to refer suppose that is might be the same. I think I just got a tweet. I got a weird sound effect there, which makes me wonder if I just a tweet thing. Even though nothing in there. Okay, it means nothing. I can't mean anything essentially, but yeah, I it feels like a little bit too like not enough damage, but it's whatever. It is what it is. It's fine. Okay, large form. Starting with level, you gain the ability to supernaturally grow. As a bonus action, you can change your size to large, provided you're in a big enough space. So it's basically what Rune Knight gets, or enlarge if you reduce. This transformation lasts for 10 minutes, or until you and as a bonus item. During this duration, you have advantage on strength checks, and your speed increases by 10 feet. That is pretty good. I do like that. I definitely do like that. You're not getting that much bigger, which makes it not that insane. Because like you're already like you could already be like 8 feet tall. It's 7 to 8 feet tall. You could already be pretty tall. So like you're not going too big. In fact, that is disguise self like a 1 foot change or is it a 2 foot change? If it's a 2 foot change, you could like you're basically just scare yourself up. You just disguise self to get yourself to large technically. But no, you're not. It's not. You're not getting all. You are getting definitely getting bigger, but it's not it's not like you're getting like twice your size or like that. Which might be led to believe it's like because meme's 5, large is 10, it's twice your size. Well, not really. Um. So. Um. Yeah, I definitely do like that. Kind of close to the damage piece there, but at the same time, I understand why you wouldn't have that. Could be a bit too powerful. Because you do have these ones, so like extra damage is a bit. Actually, also I gotta say, of all these things here, honestly, oh, I think you could do this at 1d10 or the 1d8 thing. Is rather than proficiency bonus, is what you could do is you could do plus your Constitution modifier, kind of like we have right here, basically. Or you could do something else with Constitution modifier. Because then all it takes for the whole like, oh, I just wasted it kind of thing. What else is RNG in there? Because it's the way that this one is. Like, and also when I look at this, what I was trying to the comments I make is when I look at this, there's not one pop like, oh yeah, I'm taking that one out every single time. None of pop to me. This would be a kind of a bit of a difficult decision for me to make, honestly. So, which is I guess a good thing because it says they're kind of balanced. Like I lean towards this one, though also is very intriguing to me. I probably don't take that one. Though I might. I mean, that's not bad. I probably don't take that one. I don't take this one unless they modify it. Fire's burn is really good. Because a lot of the extra damage there. Hill's Tunnel could be interesting because it gives you advantage on your next attack roll. And if you're like a 5 if you like let's say you have 3 attacks in your turn, first attack you do this, knock him prone. The first attack, then you get advantage on your next 2 attacks. And hey, let's say let's say you have 11 action, but you can have 11 action on this. So, and if you're a rogue, which would be really weird, but if you were a rogue, hey, there's sneak attack right there. Advantage on attack rolls. There's sneak attack. Hey, pretty good. All of this mission steps also are really nice, and having spells on it, would be really nice to have. I mean, I think for me it's between Cloud, Fire, and Hill. The Hill liking specific sets like Cloud and Fire I might do more generally. So he'll be. I would want to make sure I have multiple attacks. Like I would never run. I would not take Hill on Cleric. I would not take Hill on. I would not. There's a lot of classes I wouldn't take Hill on. I'd want to have a character where I'm going to have at least 1 attack, if not 3 attacks. Which could be through 2 in fighting at 5th level, or but like obviously level 1 through 4, you're not gonna have 3 attacks. Well, I mean, Monk could have it if you're dealing with Monk and Flurry of Blows. Assuming it stays the same. Yeah, I could have 3 there, but yeah. Okay, so then power build. You have if you event on any saving throw, you make the end the ground condition for yourself, and you kind of fun stuff. Yeah, so this is nice. So it's power build plus you event on saving throws that make the ground. I like that. That's cool. So, I think I do not like Ardling. Like, I like this. I do not like that. I like this, so not quite sure exactly what it's trying to say. And I like this. But then beyond that, it's lacking. It needs more. I also like the way it's moved away from the way it's moved away from ASMR. It's not super similar to ASMR anymore. It's just like very like it gets thaumaturgy. That's the only similarity to ASMR. And it's celestial in nature. So that's a very similar um forest gnome and elf. They're basically the same sort of thing. They're forest people. But wood elf and forest gnome, basically the similarities are basically the same thing. Like they're just like, oh, it's a celestial. It's like, okay, the cat and dog kind of scenario. No, that doesn't make them similar. Like, oh, there's tied, there's linked. They're not actually similar to each other. It's like Dragonborn and Cold, really, or Dragonborn and Lizard Folk. They're not that similar. So, because their features are significantly different. So, yeah. But it needs more. They've been deprived of a lot of stuff, and there's needs a bit more to it. Will it be a first level spell slot here? First level spell they get first level spell. This needs to be buffed anyway, no matter what. Then or maybe a resistance to radiant damage. Resistance to cold radiant damage, but like, I believe doesn't I think Azmar might have resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. Like, your problem. Like, oh no, I'm resistant to 2 down types. You really aren't targeted with radiant damage all that often. To be completely honest, you don't target that frequently. And cold, while it isn't the latest common thing, it's not like it's fire damage or necrotic damage or BPS or something like that. It's it's more common than lightning, and it's more common than acid. It's more common than thunder, or it's most common damage would be BPS. Then it's like probably then you have like fire, and then like from a character standpoint, it's probably then like poison, then necrotic. Because of all the animals that get like poison damage is why I'm thinking poison rather than necrotic. And then unless I'm forgetting something, it's probably cold damage. Because there's some like monsters like undead that look cold damage, I'm pretty sure. So there's some weird things about these. I think there's some weird things like cold damage. Me psychic actually. Psychic might be up there, but might be higher than cold. But it's like it's not uber common, but it's not rare. It's like it's force damage or thunder damage or lightning or acid. Not that lightning's pretty uncommon, but like there's not many spells that do lightning damage. And like monster wise, it's like dragons. Does this give me a hint, or I'm not familiar with this thing. I don't use it very often. It's very new to me. Can I see damage dealt? Damage inflicted. Lightning. There's an extra filter there probably. Oh, oops. Let's just refresh this. Okay, filter. Damage inflicted. Lightning. Yeah, dragons. I have no idea about. Don't know about these things. Don't. These are specific locations. Death Kiss can deal damage. So a storm giant quintessence of storm giants. Actually, let's go through and just really quickly deal with books. Do that actually. That's good. Everything that really matters, but we'll look at monsters, very friendly and loft. Monster manual. Motem. Organized foes. No, there's any monsters in there. Actually, no. Technically there are. So creatures. Okay. Now we have, yes, so Storm Giant, Yagnoloth, Death Kiss, Orthon, Thotham Fiends, Moloch, which is a, don't know what a CR. Like a Brown Scout. What was the same thing? Dragon, Will-O-Wisp, Kuatoa Monitor, Kraken Priest. Like, there's not many things that do. I mean, like, you get before you have a, like a low monster dealing lightning damage. There's not that many. So, but why am I worried about lightning damage? I don't know. Not really doing that right now. What more incident is cold and radiant damage? Wait, so let's go for radiant damage. And then let's also say, where is? I think we're here. Add, probably not. I don't care. Look for alignment. But what? Oh, what? I'll give her that. There's okay. Oh. Oh, right, so red's no. 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 Good creatures with rain damage. Priest. Dragon Blessed. War Priest. There are 3 creatures that would not be good into my deal rain damage. Wait, one moment. I needed both. It's annoying. There we are. Okay, so Acolyte, Kuatoa Whip. Where do you do rain damage? Off spells. Like, you got a bit more than you do have cold damage, but like, there's not that many. But let's go look at say, it has to be evil. It's much shorter list. So, yeah. My point being that adding rain is not a big deal. It's not made that big of a difference in the long run. In the grand scheme of things, rating is a huge thing. Like, but it just makes sense. And right now, it's kind of lacking features, so it'd be a pretty simple way to make it better. So yeah. Then Dragonborn, yeah, sure. It's just a little bit Fistman's was. There's plus the flight thing, which is sure, yeah, yay. This is what you need to have. Well, you should have what you had before. But what it had before, the flight thing you had before. The Goliath, I like Goliath. Feats, oh, got new feats, I guess. Right, this is just. Plus it there, but. Ooh, So let there be people thinking like that. Yay. Good. Okay. It doesn't. That's not a change really though about the way it's worded it. So this is add new because it's a priest thing. So when another creature that I can check what the Epic Boon recommended was. It recommends Epic Boon of Fate, which is one right here. So when you or another creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes a d20 test, you can roll a d10 and apply the number rolled as a bonus or a penalty to the d20 roll. Once you use the benefit, you cannot use it again until you roll initiative or finish a short or long rest. Okay. I was like, why this or that? Like, when are you ever gonna not relieve initiative and then take that while initiative is going on? They're like, oh wait, you could very easily use it out of battle brain. Then it doesn't matter. It's like if you use it outside of initiative and then because there's no after that. This is. I mean, my main reaction was like, no, not me. Like I was trying to write my. This is like once you used it, like I don't know, but like there's no action attached to it. It's a free D10 on anything, and there's both or penalty. There's not a reaction. There's not a bonus. There's nothing attached. There's no strings attached to it. Like there's the usages and how you and when you can use it, beyond the how many times you can use it. So like, it's 60 feet of you. That is pretty good. And attack roll, saving throw, ability check. So it could be very useful. And spell recall. You can cast any spell you prepared without spending a spell slot, provided the spell is 5th level or lower. Use it, you can't. So that's probably the default wizard option, I would assume. I guess. If I had a guess. That feels kind of the bard can't get that, but it's like the it's kind of like signature spells of wizard in a way, except it's 5th level lower. And it's only one. You don't have this spell. It's like kind of a better, but also I think that a knockoff version of the signature spells. It's like you don't choose your spells at your signature spells. It's a cheaper way of doing a signature spells, but it's also it's more potent, more powerful feature. It's a stronger feature. So then choose other interesting. That's cool. Yay. Yeah, I kind of wish it'd be available to Ranger, but whatever. Okay, so aid's been changed. Okay. So some spell changes. And okay, grapple's been changed. What's article? That's what you should call this. So let's find aid. And normally it is if bubbles that your houses into right, okay. If you have 6 creatures within range, each target has 5 to hit points. So double the creatures, but it's temporary hit points instead of hit point maximum. Everything along tab. I understand the change. I'm not sure I prefer it. Also, casting time seems to be the same. Durations, so it's entertained instead of 8 hours. fact that there are 6 creatures makes it better, but this is significantly worse because you can't stack 3 hit. 1, you cannot stack 3 hit points. 2, you cannot heal these hit points. With A before, you could heal the hit points back up. If you lost them, you could get them again. Here's another way. The fact that it's more creatures is nice, but I'm not sure it makes it. I think this one's slightly worse. Because there are also scenarios in which you're using it on 4. There are a lot of times you might be finding yourself using it only on 4 creatures, and so you're really only getting 1 more creature, which could very well beat yourself. So like, the increase in hit creatures does not see a benefit. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling about that. Okay. Before or after each attack you make, probably even if the attack is with it. I don't know. Sorry. So you can equip or unequip one weapon before or after each attack. Attack action. So I'm trying to think if you're switching between stuff. I'll read about these. I got some appropriate for you. Okay, what is it? I'm worried to find it. Yeah, so I guess what we want on here is like you. I'm trying to think that like if you're going from a bow to a shield, you can equip the bow and then you level 14 Feywild Druid Circle ability, down once per long rest, for 1 minute, as a. You can use your bonus action to make a ranged spell attack against a creature. With it, yeah. Choose a creature within 60 feet of you. Make a ranged spell attack against a creature within 60 feet of you. Shaping the terrain of plant life. Oh, no. Oh, so okay. So tendrils within tendrils. Yeah, the training path around you reach out 60 feet. Okay. 60 feet. 46. So on each of your turns for 1 minute, you can make a bonus action to do the damage. Is that what I'm getting from this? Okay. It's not. I think it's good. I would say bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, or I'd stick with 1 damage type because you can't justify slash damage like if you're dealing with like if you're dragging a thorn across creature, like you can justify taking slash damage with stuff. So there's no reason. I'd say bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. I do kind of wonder the fact that it's like for a minute. I almost want to say do it more as a you can do that bonus. It's a bonus action that you do once, and then but you can use it like a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest or something like that, rather than for like once per long rest and then it lasts for a minute. Maybe I think there maybe you might increase the damage a little bit if you do it that way because it is technically less damage overall because it's. But like the thing is like it maybe because if you use it on a scenario where the creature dies like 2 turns later, you would have rather have had the ability to basically use it twice and have, let's say you're level 14, so that you'd have proficiency bonus of um 5, so like you still have like 3 uses remaining of it. Um, granted, the reason why you chose doing it that could be a thematical difference. It could be a thematic reason for doing it the way you're doing it there. Um, so, but yeah, I think as a tangent, as a pun for the most part, yeah. Um, Also, if you're doing it as like an emotional thing, I might consider doing psychic damage instead. Um, I would of course also specify magical. If you're doing BPS, I would specify it's magical because otherwise you use immunities around that, but that doesn't really matter. Um, that's just a thing worth noting. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of wonder about doing psychic, or you do a mixture. You do you do your choice of bludgeoning, piercing, or slash damage, and you deal psychic damage as well. It's like you do, if you're stay with 46, you do 2d6 BPS, or and you do 2d6 psychic damage because because then then you kind of include that kind of emotional damage, the emotional kind of side of things as well. Also, because Feywild and psychic damage is a whole thing. I mean, like in Feywild Ranger, you have your dreadful strikes, whatever it is, deal psychic damage. So I might do that. Um, hmm. I would the, also if you're doing it, yeah, I could you add, yeah, either add 2d6 or I'm trying to think of damage wise, like 46. So if you're doing 66, that's averaging to it's 2 times, it's 3 times 7, so 21 damage. That's not. Yeah, I almost say don't do the minute duration. What you could do is instead is if you're going for the tangent, you could almost do like an AoE kind of thing around yourself, like a is it? It's not ears black tentacles. It's um oh wait, it's first level spell, warlock spell. What is it? Conjuration, Arms of Hatter kind of thing. Although 14 is a subclass capstone. Yeah. Um. So yeah, I might do it as a AoE around yourself because it's more of that kind of like a tantrum kind of thing. So it's either lashing out around you, then have it prop. I think if you're doing that, I think I'd do 2d6 piercings or bludgeoning damage, and then do 2d6 psychic damage, or have it be a saving throw, and then I do like however many feet or something by itself 10 feet, like Arms of Hadar. Um, maybe. But that's one thought I have. It kind of keeps the tantrum kind of thing. Um, while still being, and then having proficiency bonus per long rest. Um, because like if it's like a one-time thing for a duration, like it's kind of indicating towards is like the chance that like you don't get much out of it because like you get 2 turns of it and then it's like gone. It's like okay, I don't have it anymore. We do like it's once, but with a bonus action you could do it multiple times. Okay, also as a bonus action, I probably don't want to do 66 as a bonus action. Um, that's a bit too much as a bonus action because you also have an act on top of that as well. Um, you also might be able to do it while in wild shape as well. So if you're transferred into a giant elk, well, no, you can't do giant elk because you're different subclass. So if you transfer into a creature, you're doing their attacks, their act, and then do that as well. That could be a bit much. Um, I might also consider like a saying through like on a successful save they take half as much damage, um, potentially, because I think as a bonus like it could get a bit much potentially. That's my thoughts. That's just my thought on it. So I kind of lower at power levels with it being, yeah. Because even with 46, that's a lot for guaranteed damage as a bonus action. Um, wait, the wrong area. Um, I base the damage on a level 14 cantrip. Yeah, but a cantrip would also have a saving throw and also would do no damage on a fail. So that's also they're also instantaneous too. So that's my thought. Um, so given that as it is, it's auto damage. Where there's an account that's auto damage. They're all saying those are attack rolls. Um, That's just my thought. That's just my thoughts on the matter. Okay. Action to reach 30 feet. So I said range decrease, I think. Yeah, it comes out from 60 to 30 feet, which is rough. Okay, concentration 1 minute. That's the same. You have to tell make sure that within range of the planet existence. Could miss anything throw. Yep. Promise don't think for the duration the target can willingly fail a save. That's new. While in the zone plane, the target is incapacitated. At the end of each of its turns, the target can repeat the same throw, ending the spell on itself on a success. Okay, the repeat saves are new. And then on the target, it reappears in the space it left. Yeah, it's not new, but offer the target for 1 minute, and the target is an aberration such an elemental fey or a fiend. The target doesn't return. It is instead transported to a round location. Okay. Whereas here, polynoise ends before one passes. Right, so this here only has via concentration. We only that refers to being transferred to the plane. Where here they can also escape via saving throw. Also, it's a lower range. So they basically are nerfing banishment. Is what this is. This is what this is. It's not a give and take kind of thing. Bart's gonna be where new is changed. Has temporary hit points instead of AC change. Dazed, we were looked at dazed. Exhaustion, nothing's changed. Fly speed, gaming, grapple change apparently. So, speed is 0. Okay, what is it? What was it before? Oh, wait. Grapple. I thought I hit Control G, but apparently didn't. So, you've just found attack rolls against any target other than the grappler. You know, tackles against interact other than the grappler. Okay, they're the same. And then the grappler can when it moves, but the dragon suffers a slow condition while it's moving unless you are tiny or two or more sizes smaller. That's the same thing, pretty sure. Yes, escape. I assume it has to be escape. That's different then. Oh, actually, no. Wait. I think it's the wording. Nope, no. The end change is still there. Okay. While grappled, you can make a dexterity or strength saving throw against the grappled's escape DC at the end of each of your turns, and you can turn yourself as a success. While grappled, you can make a dexterity or strength saving throw against the grapple's escape DC. Okay. This all ends if the grapple is incapacitated or if something removes you from the grapple's range. Also ends if the range without using your speed. Okay, it's just a wording change. This is pointless because you already can't move. So like without using your speed, well, you already can't move. So that's not what that is. It is just fixing the word because this just made it confusing. Honestly, I didn't realize that was the first time reading through it. What I did is bought and just ignored it because it was just pointless. Okay. What else did they say it has changed? What should I do? I should take a picture. Or I don't. Why take a picture when I just open up the file? 1D. Cleric and species. Too far. Okay. Now I need to take a screenshot. So next one is influence. Okay, look. So we actually guidance might be different because it was changed already. So maybe this is another change to guidance. Potentially. Guidance. Hello. I just can't. That's not that apparently. Going on primal. How is that different? Tell me how this is different. Where's guidance? Hello. Wait. Oh, it's might be over. It's over here. This is not the one I want to be in. Really, I'd rather be over extra class, which has the same list as the one. I'm pretty sure. Sure. I'll be down to guidance. Where is guidance? Where are you, stupid guidance? Not really stupid anymore. It ain't stupid anymore. It used to be stupid though. That's pretty good. Okay, so Diamond Primal, that's not changed. Cast have one reaction when you take with the creature will you take in response to you or an ally within 30 feet of you failing an ability check. You and ally within okay, so a drop of range. That's the change. Rough. That just makes it worse. Like, I would understand that on an attack roll or on a saving throw, sure. But on an ability check? Like, if you right by them, basically, just for an ability check? For those that don't know, I'm also currently doing this. I'm completely trying to the Pokedex. I've been scrolling about it. I just took a break because I have to hatch eggs here. Wait, you can get multiple now? Oh, this actually a good thing this does. Hey, we like to see that. Because now, if you're breeding, you can just sit there. You can just leave it on with this open for like 2 hours while you're doing something else, or like even longer, and then just go collect the eggs that you need. If you're breeding for Pokemon, that's actually kind of sick. Though it does take ages for it to bloody do stuff. That's supposed to be there. This is a new one. I'm bad. I can't do buttons. Okay, but the control's back. Eh. Move it back over here. There. Yeah, so Guidance has been nerfed. Sag. But I would think. Honestly, that change might be actually a bit of change to it that I might. That might change whether or not I actually take the spell. Because already it was like a fence. Kind of like, I might take it. Like, on a cleric where I don't have any good spells anyway, I might take it. Now, don't know. I might not take it now. What I what like I might take resistance instead. It's like a ability check. Like 30 feet. Still, like you have to be right by them. Like when you do things like let's say you've climbed up a rope. You're up at the top. Now someone's trying to fall up behind the rope. They problem climb up it. But guess what? They're no longer 10 feet away from you, so you can't use guidance to help up the rope. But if it's 30 feet away, then maybe you could have. Like, it makes it much more limited and like not as useful. And guidance spell was it's like very much it's a situation spell. You use it in very specific scenarios. It's a situational spell to have. Reducing the range reduces the situation in which you use it. And while the situation in which you use it is kind of what makes the spell good, in terms of how good it is, because like a spell that deals no damage makes you know the various few situations where you actually use it. Also, I'm being screamed at by Pokemon right now because I thought the audio, so I'm listening to it. I'm being screamed at by Hadrain. It's yelling at me. Apparently. I did wrong, but it's not happy with me. Oops. Minimized it on accident. Okay. Send me that again. It stopped. Alright, so yeah, I don't like the change of the guidance. Influence. Okay, I don't. What's different? It's such a big thing. I don't want to read through it. I don't want to read through it. And you can't bloody make me. Well, you can, but I'll do my darndest to stop you. And then we'll copy the other one and see if we can figure out what the frick is the difference. Because I don't want to read through all this stupid stuff. And I could read through all this, but I'm not sure I'm going to notice what the difference is. To be completely honest. Even if I did read through all of it. So it just seems more efficient to me to. Unless it's like very obvious. Oh, it's very obvious. You know, maybe it would have been smart for me to look first, but to determine whether your request or demand is successful, you must make a charisma check. You have event on the check if the creature is friendly to you, and you have disadvantage if the creature is hostile. Yeah. Okay. Choose skill. The influence skills table suggests which skills are applicable when you make the charisma check, depending on the interaction that precedes the roll. Anally, gently coaxing a beast or a monstrosity. Deception, deceiving a creature that can understand you. That can understand you. That can't understand you than what you do. Animal handling, intimidation. I guess he's talking about automatic fail. I guess intimidation, intimidating a creature, persuading a creature that can understand you. So like, it's just like, you see, okay. The minimum DC for the check is 15, or the creature's intelligence score, whichever is higher. I kind of disagree with that. I would say it should be. I would say it's a I would say passive insight. at least for deception. I think for I think for these two it should be passive insight. I'd homebrew wise maybe just to say passive insight. I think that one persuasion makes sense for intelligence, but the other two here I feel like is more of a passive insight. But kind of scenario, but whatever. If your check succeeds, the creature does as asked. If your check fails, you must wait to make the same request again. The default wait time is 24 hours. Well, might be made shorter or extended depending on the circumstances. Okay. Replay how you describe the creature's behavior, focus on your request or demand. If the interaction is especially suited to the creature's desires or an ally, then you might totally shift it. The hostile creature to the interaction is particularly irksome. Yeah. Matters. Okay. Whatever. Next, what is the next one to look at? Input light. The light weapon properties changed. Okay. Kind of worrisome because I like the way it worked, it functioned. So I don't think I'm not sure if they could do anything that make me like it. This is just a wording change. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can attack with a light weapon in one hand and have. When you take the attack action on your turn and attack with a light weapon in one hand and have a light weapon in the other hand, you can make one extra attack as part of the same action. That appears the same. Okay. That extra attack must be made with a light weapon in the other hand, and you don't add your ability modifier to the extra attack's damage roll. You can make this extra attack only once per on each. I think that could be the difference actually. Make this attack only once on each of your turns. No, okay. The extra attack must be made with a different light weapon in the other hand, and okay, that's a different here. Okay, wait a minute. Short sword in one hand, each of which of the light weapon. But you don't add your strength or dexterity modifier to the damage rolls. What's the difference? When you take the attack action on your turn and attack with a light weapon in one hand and a light weapon and attack with a light weapon in one hand and okay, this actually is what the difference is. On your turn and attack with a light weapon in one hand, you can make one extra attack as part of the same action. It is just a wording thing. There's no difference in. Okay, it just makes the wording more obvious that you're dual-wielding. It's not just a. Okay. It's just a wording thing. There's no difference mechanically speaking, really. Okay, what changes do we have? Long rest. Interesting. It's probably the experience that has to do with re-breaking it, basically, but for them happening. To at least 8 hours long, and available to any creature. During the longest, you sleep for at least 6 hours and perform no more than 2 hours of light activity, such as reading, talking, reading, or standing in watch. Okay, yeah. You gain the following benefit. You gain all its hit points. You gain all hit dies. If you're hit by massive, it returns to normal. I think that's the difference. Yeah. You gain all hit points. You gain all hit die. If you hit by maximum res reduce, it returns to normal. If any of your abilities were reduced, they return to normal. If you can't benefit one more, right? So so the exhaustion was used by one. So I think they just moved it from having it on the exhaustion condition to having it on the Feature allowance removes one of your levels of exhaustion. When your exhaustion level is 0, you are no longer exhausted. Now if I go and look at exhaustion over here, assuming it is here. no, they didn't change it at all. It's just adding that piece. So it's nothing actually changed. It's just making the what has this changed? That has changed actually, but it also add the pieces though too. So there's two changes. If a long rest is interrupted by combat or by 1 hour of walking, casting spells or similar activity, the rest confers no benefit and must be restarted. However, if the rest was at least 1 hour long before the interruption, you can gain the benefit of short rest. Okay. And long rest is stopped by the following interruptions: combat, casting a spell rather than other than as cantrip. Okay, so these now you can catch a cantrip basically, and the wording changes. I prefer the formatting wording change, whatever it is. What I describe this as. Version. Yeah. You can resume a long rest immediately after the interruption. If you do so, the rest requires 1 additional hour per finish per interruption. I like that change. Okay, I am glad this is what they did to do. They did. That's the eggs again. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I'm glad that changed. The change is good. I actually made 3 changes. One's an appearance change, one's to include exhaustion, and then one's an actual mechanical change. No, I made 4 changes. You can now cast cantrips. You can now. Well, okay, it makes 2 not like just visible, like non-mechanical changes. So adding exhaustion here, instead of having an exhaustion piece, change the formatting, and then also actual mechanical changes being you can now cast cantrips without breaking the long rest, and you can also resume it without you don't end. You'll lose the benefit of it. It just resumes it, which I'm glad they do it that way because like having encountering during a long rest is not all that uncommon. So that it could be pretty bad. Really annoying. Okay, I think it did so that the magic was changed. Yeah. Okay. When you take the magic action, you cast a spell that has the casting of an action, or you use a feature or magic item that requires a magic action to be activated. When you cast a spell of an action, or you use a magic item that requires. Okay, I think the only change is probably the fact that it's a feature or a magic item, because now there's features that uses magic item text. I think is what they're saying. If you cast a spell of 1 minute or longer, you must take the magic action on each turn of the casting, and you must maintain concentration while you do so. If your concentration is broken, the spell fails, but you don't expend a spell slot. Spell slot. You must maintain concentration while you do so. If your concentration is broken, the spell fails, but you don't expend a spell slot. Yeah, okay. Next thing is prayer healing spell. Okay. It's just compared to what was normally. So prayer. Should have just hit enter there, but it probably just it might be that it says an abjuration spell. Though I think it was no, it would have been an abjuration spell before in this one. So divine. I think it's 10 minutes. I think it's I keep forgetting it has to have 10 minutes. Range of 30 feet. I can go to that page. Range of 30 feet. Verbal components. Just verbal, okay. You utter an extended prayer of restoration. Choose a number of creatures equal to your spellcasting ability. That's probably what's different. Up to 6 creatures of your choice within range. Yeah, if you the creature remains within range of the spell's entire casting, gains the benefits of a short rest. That might be new though, and he also gains 2 hit points. And can be fighting again until it finishes a long rest. So it's kind of like catnap, but into one spell. Interesting. Regains deep. Interesting. So it removes the space right here. It's pretty stupid. The other gives the effect of a short rest. Fewer creatures unless you have a high spell against ability modifier. You mean then just tells like one fewer, but it's not that big of a difference though. But again, you give a tome of understanding and you'd be a cleric and you'd piss it over. So it's basically it's an upgrade, which makes sense. But if it's a 10-minute long casting, it makes sense that they gave it the change they did. And it now actually it's a much better spell because that whole short rest piece means like it's really good for warlock and some other and like it's good for monk. It's good for other creatures that need short rest stuff. So all it probably can't target yourself, but like if you're I think with a cleric with Channel Divinity, be charged on short rest. It's pretty good. Unless you have mobile clerics, but, then you can kind of high level for 1d extra. So although the piece pack is different, but it's compared to normally. It wasn't the smart way to do that, but whatever. I could just open a new tab and then change this one to ways. But priests. Could have a pack maybe, but backpack, blanket, 10 candles. It costs more money, but it's gotta be more than that. It's backpack, blanket, lamp, 10 candles. So, well, okay. That's it. Backpack, yes. Blanket, yes. Lamp is new. Holy water is new. 7 days of rations is increased by 5. Robe, I'm pretty sure is new. Yeah, robe with investments and a tinderbox. So you lose an alms box, but who cares? You lose 2 blocks into but who cares? You lose 10 counts, but who cares? And you don't have a water skin. Honestly, not having a water skin is kind of rough because you aren't getting an explorer's pack from you are not getting explorers back from your class. You can't. So it's kind of, but like holy water and a lamp is better than candles, and holy water is sick. It's just cool to have holy water there. Okay. And that's not that significant though. But having holy water is nice, but like, it's not really huge changes. Nobody see that. Okay. Resistance spell. We looked at that. It's basically just range of 10 feet of touch, and then also it is a reaction instead of an action with a duration. So spiritual weapon. My guess is it's a rating down to the 4th damage. Is my guess, though I could be wrong. So I was hoping like, oh, okay. I thought that maybe a different actually. It's apparently Chloe one's still there, which is kind of odd. So I guess it made a difference to typed L there. Though I guess no, Matt was in there because, yeah. The L. Just project A's again. Yeah. I think earlier I could leave it open for hours upon hours, but I actually really can't do that because if I were to do that, it would eventually the switch would turn off at some point. So I'd have to kind of on occasion make sure it doesn't turn och. Checking on it, which would mean if you're working on something like I'm doing it now, it'd be fine. You can move. Okay. Do this more logically. more thoughtfully. But little divine, okay, whatever. Bonus action. Bonus action. 60 feet. 60 feet. Verbal and thematic. Verbal thematic. Concentration 1 minute. Duration 1 minute. So it's not concentration, which it was not before. That's kind of rough. It might be due to the fact that now clerics now have smites that could somehow tie to that, but it shouldn't be a big deal. And they probably added it. Maybe this change to it, but I actually concentration might be the only change to it actually, because I just saw its first damage and the damage looks it's the same. Because by a floating special force that becomes a weapon of your choice, and that lasts for durations, force appears within range in a space of your choice, and you can immediately make one melee attack, melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the force. If you're within 5 feet of the weapon on a hit, does it wording change? That's not a big deal though. On a hit, the force damage equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. 1d8 plus your spellcasting best. Force damage equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. After both on your later turns, you can move the force up to 20 feet and repeat this attack against a creature within 5 feet of it. On your turn, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet and repeat the action repeat the attack against a creature within 5 feet of it. A bit of a verbiage change there beyond the whole weapons force instead of weapon. Both on your turns and it says on subsequent turns. On later turns, that verbiage changes there is better, and also just loses the whole like. But this whole piece, but that doesn't matter though. So it's kind of fluff. They don't need here. So then, you cast a spell using a spell slot at a 3rd level higher than the per spell level. Probably 2 slots above 7th level. Okay. So this is a big change right here. So it's basically it's doubling the so like with the way it was before. Running is dumb for one thing, but because it says that they're a little higher, but it doesn't matter if it's at 3rd level because it will tell me no difference at 3rd level. But so here, let's say you cast it on a 9th level spell, you're gonna have be 48 damage, where with the new one is now 98 damage, which is pretty big. Also, with 98 plus your spell versus whatever it was before, 48 plus your spell buffer. First, second, 4th, 6th, 8, yeah, 48 versus 9. 48 plus spell modifier versus 98 plus spell modifier. Though in trade for concentration, I prefer this one. I think, in my opinion, my thought. So then true set changes. Okay, I like where this is going. Hello. Okay, so it changed from what Tuesday is generally, not from Tuesday isn't in the PHP, or is it? Where would it be? PHP in here, right? It actually, oh, there it is. So, can actually spit rain, see normal and magical darkness, see visible creatures and objects to automatically detect. I'll kind of do it this way. Okay. Because you can see normal and magical darkness. You can see normal and magical darkness. You can see invisible creatures and objects. You can see invisible creatures and objects. The creature notices visual illusions and automatically succeeds on savers against them. Okay. The creature discerns the true form of any creature or object it sees that has been transformed by magic. And perceives the original form of a shape changer or a creature that is transformed by magic. So it also now affects objects as well too, rather than just creatures. So that's the thing. The creature can see into the other plane. So it basically only changes now that y'all see that objects are not in their true form. So it can make sense. Beyond that, and the base percentage has nothing changed. And then yeah, so generally, yeah. So I mean, I think for the most part, I like the changes they've made. I'm not a huge fan of the Ardling changes. Like, I like the way they're going with it, but I think it's not enough. I think it needs more features in there. Needs more bulk to it. I like Cleric. There's nothing there's not anything made. There's not anything negative. There's not any really things that have strong negative feelings in relationship to Cleric. Like there's some positive things like I like that change. There's some negative things, but like they're not major. I don't have strong feelings in regards to the Cleric. There are different things that are negative. But I do have positive strong feelings that are positive, like the Holy Order, and these things that were changed with this. Like I have strong negative feelings about the whole Blessed Strikes thing. Mostly because one, there's another 14 level thing. It doesn't get a buff. This is not buffed later on. And then it also does have the extra damage piece. So it doesn't go to 2d8, and then it also does not. I mean, it doesn't have an extra damage subclass though. The whole subclass piece you can kind of just homebrew. I mean, you can homebrew both those pieces out of it back in. So the reason for having the extra damage piece is because like is for because like you have extra attacks. Like you have places where you have 3 extra attacks. Cleric's not gonna have that unless he's multiclassed. And if you have 14 levels of multiclassing, I mean, what you could do is put it up to level 16 potentially. You could put it a little bit higher, so you're blocking, or it's a homebrew build. You could just have like if you have multiclass into something with an extra attack, you don't get it. If you have an extra attack, you don't get that extra piece. You don't get the extra boost, the buff. You just get the one. If you have an extra attack, and I think it's like smites. Cycle smites is a bit strong. Not that close to get smites. But that's not a huge deal. But yeah, that's a change they made in Tosh. That's not a new change here. But like at the Holy Order, I think that the whole Holy Order thing they've got going on with heavy armor and martial was coming from there. Those pictures coming there, and also having an additional cantrip, which is not a big thing. But the bigger deal there is the Challenge Divinity and a short rest recharge. When you finish a short rest, and then also I like this thing too as well. And then Divine Spark for the Challenge Divinity is also really good. The way to do Challenge Divinity is also better. Proficient bonus for long I prefer in this scenario where the short rest usages per the they give you per short rest. I prefer this scenario. Might prefer the change over the scale mail, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, I like this here. They 2d6 instead of 7 days set, and then this change here. So now 2d4s, 2d4 days instead of no change. Do it. I like that as well. I think the DM I might kind of control this a bit, depending on what they're doing. So like, let's talk about it earlier. Like, if you're resurrecting somebody, you might automatically do a maximum. Whereas if like you're doing something more minor, might do a little smaller amount. I might even do something where it's like based on the spell level. So like for here, when you here, like it would be equal to like if it's like doing the effect of a spell, the divine spell, it'd be like the spell level plus 1d4 or something, or yeah, or just the spell level, um, or the spell level plus 1. Then here, just like half spell level here. I'm not sure which way around, but yeah. So then after the rule changes stuff in here, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the changes that aid. Not a huge fan of the changes to banishment. I don't like the changes to the guidance. I like the changes to influence. That's just wording as was grappled. I'm not sure exactly what changed precisely, but it's not a big deal. I like the changes to long rest. Magic is just wording. Pre-healing, I like the changes to. Pre-spec, I like the changes to. That's not that big of a deal. I like the changes to resistance. I like the changes to spiritual weapon. I like the changes to truth hit. That's not major. So like, I mean, overall, I like what they have here. Though there are some things I'm not so keen on. But I think the biggest thing here that I don't like is Ardling. But I like where they're going with it. Like I said, it's just not enough. It's lacking. It needs more. Quina, it's weak. It's not great. It's like it just has this. It just is a single cleric cantrip. Just like clerics don't have any good cantrips. Like the list of cleric cantrips is very limited. It's like Toll the Dead and Word of Radiance, which aren't even technically here right now because they're both XG. Beyond that, they don't have really any good cantrips. And then, so it's like not great. So that's not great. Like perception, sure, yay, but like, and then like the flyers just needs to be completely reworked. I think you should go back with what Ardling had before, basically. With my thought, honestly. But beyond that, I mean, I like what they did with the climber. I like what they did with the racer. I like what they did with the swimmer. And I think they should probably add a first spell here. So add a cantrip and a first spell, and then also have resist to radiant damage. That's my thought of how they should be changed. Then Dragonborn went back to where it was before, and Fizbins. And I like the changes they made to the Goliath. Well, they did here. I like the changes to the Goliath. But yeah. Overall, Cleric didn't change that much. Beyond, I mean, Okay. The Holy Order thing's huge. That change is pretty big, and I really like that. That's probably my favorite change they made here. This is the Holy Order piece. I'm not a huge fan of this, though. I understand why they made the change. I think it's fine. Oh yeah, the thing is like, Fine Spark's still pretty big too. But yeah, okay. I think that's what I wanted to go through on their side. Well, I don't think there's anything else really to go through on that front, so let's change gears back to Pokemon real quick.